Hey Canucks fans, the NHL just announced their suspension for Florida Panthers defenseman Mike Matheson for his hit on Elias Pettersson on Saturday night, and the suspension is 2 games. So this is 1 game less than the 3 games I predicted earlier this morning, but certainly within the ballpark. It wasn't as low as 0 or 1, and it wasn't as high as 4 or 5. As I mentioned, I said it would be 2 or 3. Likely I leaned towards 3, but it indeed is 2 games for the defenseman. And really, there's a couple things I want to talk about really quickly in the video that the NHL released. And they do a pretty good job of releasing these videos with slow-mo footage and explanations as to how they got to their conclusion. So they acknowledge that basically we're looking at 2 different parts of the hit. 2 distinct things happen. They're saying that the first part, the checking the boards, was clean, was legal, was a natural hit, was a natural hockey play. And that includes actually, they mentioned the stick between Pettersson's legs, but they didn't say it was illegal. They didn't say it was dangerous. And when I look at the replay over and over, I can't really tell if the stick simply goes between Pettersson's legs for leverage. But I'm not convinced that Matheson actually turned his stick to, as they use the term, pitchfork or can open Pettersson. His stick may have well just been for leverage and pushing against the boards. Now, I'm not a really good hockey player, an elite hockey player, so I don't know. I've never been pitchfork or can open because I'm not good enough for someone to have to try and do that to me. So maybe those of you out there who play hockey and have played hockey a lot, you can tell me how much of a difference that made. To me, it looks like Matheson put his stick between Pettersson's legs, but maybe didn't apply much force to his stick, rather using it for leverage. Regardless of what I think, the NHL said that that first part was indeed a natural hit, a natural hockey play. The second part that they distinguished as not a natural hockey hit was the way that, of course, Matheson slammed Pettersson down in the ground. Very dangerous and obviously causing injury with Pettersson's head hitting the ice and quite hard. So they called it interference and they called it unsportsmanlike. And that's where the 2 games comes from. They cited the fact that, again, that Pettersson sustained an injury and that Matheson doesn't have any disciplinary history with the league, no suspensions, no fines, in 168 games of play. So obviously that's a good thing for Matheson. So overall, 2 games. I think it's relatively fair. I love to hear what you think, Canucks fans. And remember, the big distinction here is that they're looking at 2 different things. And I do like the way that the video actually talked about how that there's naturally going to be momentum, there's going to be contact, guys are going to be off balance. And I guess that's the way they kind of justified the first part of the hit. And then now look at the replay. I guess Pettersson's head maybe did or did. It's so hard to tell. You can't really tell how hard, if it did actually hit the glass, if his head hit the glass in the first part of the hit. But obviously the damage likely came on the second part. So overall, I think the suspension is fair. I'm glad he got something. I know a lot of Canucks fans were worried that he wasn't going to get anything. I know some wanted more, 4 or 5. Considering it's our best player, and Pettersson will miss at least 2 games, if not more, the last 2 games of this 6-game road trip. But regardless, it's done. What's done is done. Travis Green can relax. The Canucks can, they can't relax, but at least they have some closure, at least to this part. And we know that Mike Matheson is suspended for 2 games. For the interference, for the unsportsmanlike, for the second part of that hit, that would be the unnatural hockey play. And again, emphasis on the first part, they were saying was a legal hockey hit. Canucks fans, what do you think? Do you agree with their interpretation that it's indeed 2 pieces, 2 parts, the legal hockey hit to start off, and then the obviously dangerous illegal hit, the second part of that hit that caused the injury and the concussion to Pettersson? Do you agree with that assessment? And more importantly, what do you think of the 2 games? Is it right? Is it too little? Is it too much? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply as always. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.